I'm going to show you how to make egg nori rolls with the delicious tahini and orange dip. So I'm going to start with making a lovely fine omelette as part of the nori rolls. So I'm going to break a couple of eggs into my bowl. Give it a little bit of a whisk to get it going. Eggs are a perfect protein. They're everything that you need, especially at the beginning of the day, to balance your energy levels. I'm going to add some water into that omelette mix just to help get a really fine omelette, a sprinkle of salt and a grind of pepper. Whisk that up again. Okay, that's lovely and smooth and ready to go. So I'm going to pop a light under my pan, and I want to get my pan nice and hot before I put the omelette mix in there. I'm going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil so that the omelette doesn't stick. Just swirl that around so it's evenly coated. Okay, and when your pan is lovely and hot, we're just going to pour the omelette in. Now you need to move quite quickly, so moving the pan around to get a lovely thin, wafer thin omelette. So we really want that to be lovely and thin so that we can roll it easily. There you go, you can see that's almost cooked already. Just going to put it on there just for a couple more minutes. And then when you can see that the omelette has set, we're not going to flick it over because this is all going to be on the inside of the roll. We're just going to take it over to our sushi mat and transfer the omelette onto my sushi mat there, ready to roll up. So while that's cooling, I'm going to just pop that over there. I'm going to prepare the middle of my rolls. So what we have here are a selection of vegetables, peppers, carrots, avocado, and the greens, the spinach and the mint that we collected from the garden. It's quite important to cut them quite finely because raw vegetables are great to get into the diet, but they can often be quite difficult to digest. So help the body by cutting them finely and everything will go down a lot more smoothly. So we're all ready. This is the exciting bit where we put it all together. Showtime. Okay, I'm going to move all that out of the way so I've got a nice clear workspace. Bring my omelette back in, and this is a powerhouse ingredient, seaweed. Today I'm using it in the form of nori seaweed sheets, and I'm going to place my seaweed shiny side down directly on top of my omelette. Bringing in my lovely chopped ingredients, and all you're going to do about a third down the seaweed is just line up strips. Try to keep them even thickness. Strips of vegetables. And my avocado. It's going to be amazingly beautiful and colourful. So these are great for a lunchbox. As I said, you can put anything in the centre that you've got in the fridge. And they also make great starters if you're doing a dinner party. I'll really impress your guests because they're so pretty. Okay, so that's the filling down the middle, and now you can use the sushi mat as I've got here. I'm just going to show you how you do that, where you use the sushi mat to roll it over, or of course if you haven't got a sushi mat, it works really well just doing it by hand. You just got to have quite nimble fingers to keep it all rolled together. So I'm just going to show you how to use it with the mat. You take the omelette over the top and then draw it back so that we get a nice tight filling, and then rolling that up using the mat, and there we've got our beautifully formed roll ready to cut. So we're moving on to make this delicious dip that's going to complement the nori rolls perfectly. Going to start off with tahini. This is the base of the sauce, and it's made from pureed sesame seeds. extremely nutritious, again, very high in the right fats that you want to get into your body. So just pop in enough to make the dipping sauce. And then orange juice is going to add a sweetness to the dip. So we just need the juice there. Okay. So popping that in there. There we go, and then to give a little bit more flavour, going to add tamari. Tamari is a little bit like soy sauce. In fact, this is called tamari soy sauce, except that it's gluten-free, so it's not made with wheat products. A lot of people are have an intolerance to wheat these days, so if that's you, then do get it. Similar taste to soy sauce, maybe a little bit sweeter. So we're going to add that in for a little salty flavour, and then finally some ginger juice. You want to grate enough until you've got about a teaspoon or so of pulp. And then I'm going to take the pulp. There it is. And I'm just going to squeeze the juice in there. A good old squeeze. There we go, and then I can just disregard the pulp. It's a little bit stringy, so I don't want that in there. So let's bring all this together. And there we go. So you've got a nice smooth dip. That's perfect. So it's a perfect balance of sweet from the orange, salty from the tamari, and zingy from the ginger. That's ready to go. So let's put it all together and make it look beautiful. First of all, we need to cut the nori rolls. The only thing you need to know is that you need a super sharp knife so that it's going to slice through. There we go. I'm going to cut this into 6 pieces. There we go. That's cut into 6 quite nicely. The end one can be a little bit temperamental. There we go. There, isn't that great? You can see all the colours and the roll of the nori and the egg. Looks great. Absolute showpiece for a dinner party. Pop the dip into a nice bowl. I'm going to top that with a few sesame seeds. And then just to finish it off, a few sprigs of mint from my garden. And a couple of chilies. There we go. Doesn't get better than that, does it? Healthy, fresh and nutritious.